How's it going, my honest viewers on YouTube? This is CyberKnight-Miky, and today we're gonna take a look at another snail shell product, which is the Tiger Mother Garu. And as always, I got this wonderful thick-ass tiger lady at Gundamit. So if you want to get your own snail shell product, you can always get it in the description below. And of course, use code Miky. And of course, if you want to see more of these kind of reviews, which, yeah, sorry for the delay, but I was way too busy with IRL work. But I'm back, and now we're going to take a look at, well, I think as said, dark-skinned tiger lady that's pretty much, well, as described in this picture, very thick. And of course, just like any of those snail shell figures back in the past that I pretty much unboxed and reviewed, so somewhat, they are pretty damn thick and very well detailed. Oh no, yeah, it's first May, so it's soon to be 1st May, so you're gonna hear fireworks. Sorry about that, but yeah, if you want to see more of these, like, comment, subscribe. It really helps out my channel, and of course prevents YouTube to kill it. Because if you would you rather have authentic, actual people that makes quality stuff, or just AI slop? Let me know in the comments. But either way, as we can see in the stuff inside, yep, I was not lying when I say that this damn lady is thick, with 3 C's, and of course her tail. Anywho, let's take a look at the instructions there, which they finally correct. If you saw my previous review that I did with the snail shell products, you know that snail shell and maybe other, Big Firebird were also known for having this kind of English, which was instructions. Oh, I missed that. But anywho, is how you pretty much the manual for the stuff you'll get, and how you should pretty much use cotton or the eye tool to soften the eyes if you want to do the posability. As always, they're like rotate kind of eyes, but their own kind of thing. And this is how you attach the tail, and that is spinning wire. And of course you also get the meat and the bone and fish. So let's get to the theme of this, but before that, as usual with the standards of snail shell products, you get replacement. Oh, double ball joints. That's really nice. Huh. They at least know how to do their stuff, instead of just having pure gobbledygook of just the replacement part, which is usually, actually I think this is pretty much the double ball joints for the wrists, given that these are the only optional hands that you're gonna get. So yeah, you're not gonna get smaller ones. But yeah, here we have another quality snail shell display stand, which as always is a very high quality and is always good for aerial poses. If you have action figures, I'm just gonna take Optimus Prime here. You can just shove it in, and then you just put it in his ass, and boom, now you have Prime in an aerial pose. Honestly, I really love snail shells display stands. They're really good. Now, if you have seen my previous review, I did review or unbox this 3-rand kind of lady, which of course was Lucy, which this figure was not bad at all. It is actually a pretty decent figure, but the problem is that they kind of focused on the stuff and all that, instead of actually having quality kind of figure. Well, it is still quality. I mean, I shake it around and there's some black magic that they pretty much have with this lady that is pretty damn impressive. But when you move it, it kind of falls apart. It still feels a little bit loose, but I did fix a little bit. I just shaved off a little bit, and now the arms stays in place. So kudos to that. But yeah, I double checked the potion, and yeah, this is pretty much the reminiscent to that scene from Free Ren. Gotta love that reference. Anywho, with that out of the way, because we are pretty much done with that, let's go and check out the other stuff before we... Okay, hold up. We got dish. Alright, done. Now the meat and potato of this review. We're just gonna make sure... Oh, wait! Warning! The potato gonna come to the down in the face before... Give me the tiger! Give me that tigerushi! What did I just say? Hey, stand up, left. Left twin. There we go. Oh yeah, Hold on. Yes. Oh, Chinese witchcraft, plastic smell. And here we have Garu, if Tigress was a humanoid. Oh, fuck. Oh, no, wait. That's not correct, because Tigress would never have this kind of bow tie. Unless she actually has that in secret. Okay, I'll stop. As usual, this is yet again another high quality Snail Shell product that actually has protective plastic, which they actually do give a damn about their figures, but yep. Gotta say, kind of feels like a regular Bandai product with these kind of hollowed wrist inside, but instead of just regular, well, Bandai bullshit, this is actually from Snail Shell, and as far as I know, there's been a reputation of their necks not being attached properly. I know that because Grisa is a victim of having a neck system that, while it's still in place, when you move around too much, well, it puts Thicc in the tap on, but as you know, she doesn't have her head, well, solidly stuck, which is a problem. I wonder if the dark skin version is actually a little bit better. I don't know. I might get it someday. But for now, let's just take a look at that. Oh, ooh, rubber. Huh. This is pretty much her tie. Wait, hold on. There's something in her side boob. What? Oh, yep. I'm sorry. Yeah. I guess this is pretty much a rope that's pretty much holding her. Am I gonna get it? Oh, of course, I'm not gonna get demonetized. I showed this so many times and they never demonetized me somehow. I don't know why. Let me just check. There, is that better? But yeah, jokes aside, all we can see pretty much here is the type of clothing this character has, and yeah, this is actually pretty damn interesting design choice that they pretty much have. And I don't give a damn about the goddamn censorship they pretty much every fucking country tried to do. I want to see artisticity. I want to see art. Not bullshit that the government tried to prove that this is dangerous. This is just incredible. But them cheeks, goddamn. I mean, if you shift the cheeks here, yeah, much better. But yeah, after opening this, I just gotta say, this is actually pretty damn impressive. And the type of quality plastic they have is pretty impressive. I mean, you get the standard 9 degrees elbows and ball joint here, but a lot of it feels a lot solid, which is pretty impressive because most of the figures I pretty much get for them do tend to be solid, but there's some parts that are a bit too loose. But here, I gotta say, this is kind of a bit of a win. They really did pull off the solidity with their figures for once. I mean, it doesn't feel like a fucking rattlesnake, unlike the previous figure, but it just shows that they actually do tend to tighten up the QC and actually make the posability a lot more fun. I mean, some of the figures previously did have that, but there were just some areas that kind of ruined the full experience. But here, I think they nailed it. And of course, you get a lot of customization because some of the parts here that are made of rubber can be pretty much removed. So yeah, you can have her pretty much naked, but there's always the, well, you can always have optional clothing. So yeah, there's a lot of customization for this, which I do adore. And I gotta say, this hair is very stylistic, and I do love that. Yeah, you can pretty much do, I don't know, kip edge this and make her into, I don't know, Bowsette. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. You also get the tail, which you just shove it in her, cheeks, behind her ass. But actually, it's more on the attachment to, every human has this kind of a short tail. It's just they're very hidden inside of the cheeks. So this being pretty much in this area actually does make sense. So yeah, and I gotta say, this is very expressive, and this is kind of a bold rubber plastic with a bendy one inside that does feel, well, a lot more smoother and actually much more pleasing. Oh, I found a scar. Would you look at that? That is actually very, very interesting. And there's also a scar pretty much on her shoulder. It kind of describes this character as a very combatant, that this really is a fighter, but she's also very, well, thick and kind of a little bit sweet. Except when we come to the optional heads, which we have, the cat roar face expression that tells you to fucking back off. And yeah, this is actually very damn expressive. It kind of looks a little bit goofy, It's just me. But use the eye tools here, and as soon as you have done that, now you can get a lot of expression. Maybe if I choose these eyes a little bit more closer. There we go. Nice. That's better. And of course, you can always remove her wig. Well, the front wig here. And remove her face. And it pretty much expose the ball joint system with a hinge here. Which I really hope that this actually will last forever. But here we have the optional face, and yeah, that is brilliant. Oh my god, that is expressive. But as for the default kind of hands that you pretty much get with this figure, you also get... Hold on. Yep, just give me a sec. I do also recommend that you use a hairdryer with this if you want to have the... Well, switching the hands a little bit easier. I don't know if you have different tastes, but yeah, it do tend to be a little bit tight. There we go. You get closed fists for boxing, and you also get the open claw hands, which are very expressive, and I do dig that. And also note that she has only 4 fingers, which for the animal kingdom, it actually makes sense because she's a tiger. And she's pretty much a, half human, half tiger breed. So it doesn't make sense that she has regular kind of human feet, but also big ass tiger paws. Which is quite a little bit unique, so to say. And then she also has a little bit bell on her, on her necklace, on her collar, which is nice. Again, this kind of looks like a Zenless Zone Zero character. It's just me. I'm not the only one who sees this. Well, any gacha kind of character. God damn. But last but not least, let's also take a look at the other optional kind of accessories that you get with this figure, which is this kind of half pretty much eaten up fish that looks like a sea bass or some kind of fish, which you can pretty much have this figure hold it in the hands, which you can do that. Hold on. Holy shit, I forgot that this one also can pretty much be disassembled. Holy shit. Huh. You can pretty much hold this fish like that. And one last and final accessory, you get this damn... Oh boy, you get this meat, boy. Yep. You can pretty much make her hold this goddamn roast meat, and she can also pretty much eat it. I can pretty much show an image of her eating it, but yeah. Not only that, but it can also be disassembled, as she had pretty much gobbled it up. Or she can also use it to fucking beat you up, which is very impressive, but of course, it does tend to be a little bit challenging to make her hold this accessory, but it's not impossible, and it's also quite solid. Huh, not a bitch grip. Very impressive. Of course, articulation, she can look up that far and down that far, side to side. Again, this neck articulation is quite solid. Of course, she has another group, well, really good range of articulation on her shoulders. Can go 300 degrees, bicep swivel, elbow joint, double ball joint featured. You can get a swivel. The chest is pretty much on the ball joint, which is also very, well, slightly easy, but there is still solid of a waist connection, so you can get a lot of range. And of course, her clothes can be removed. And of course, she has this kind of L-shaped hip system, so you can get her kick out that far. And of course, with these cheeks, you can get it that far. But of course, be careful, otherwise you will pop off the ball joint system, but it's easy to get it going. Very good range. And of course, like any other good figure, a beautiful spread. Oh. Okay, I must get demonetized, otherwise, goddamn YouTube. Anyway, 5 swivel. I do love the meat being pretty much the bulge. And a nice shading too, holy crap. They really know to make really quality stuff. Even here, huh? How did I miss? Focus me, motherfucker. Focus! There we go. Look at that. Lot of shading. Amazing. Anyway, double jointed knee joints, which you can get that far. Up, down, pivot, and swivel on the toes. So yeah, the articulation is pretty damn awesome. I must say, I am very impressed. For size comparison, here we have Garu next to the twins and Cyclonus, which of course I've seen the new release of Studio Series 86 Cyclonus, and I am going to get that one. Holy crap. My previous review, Artisan Lily, Huawei Prime, Higher Toys Heat Ray Godzilla 1991, Hokkaido version. Of course, I should show off Sophia, but I haven't built up her yet, but this is how she looked like. Yeah, coming soon. And last but not least, Studio Series 86, Soundwave and Thundercracker. Now, these are very two good figures, but they do have issues. So aside from some issues that this kind of figure has, which is only a minute issues and not a lot of accessories that I expected. I mean a lot, maybe a little bit more kind of facial expressions, just to make her a little bit more expressive. Other than that, this figure is actually a another home run from Snail. I mean, Tiger Mother Garu is pretty much another banger for the RPG line, and I am very stoked to get the rest of them because the overall accessories, the overall looks, and the quality of this figure is spot on. The overall quality has pretty much been improved, and I'm gonna say, if they actually continue on and actually make banger kind of figures at wave after wave, I think they really exceeds, well, my expectations so far, and probably be better than Figma or hell these figure arts, if I'm hoping. But then again, they're also not flawless. They have some issues, but I do love that they're also gonna give you some extras if they do tend to break. But again, only get this if you're a fan of kind of stylistic anime figures, or if you're a gacha player, or if you really want to have a very solid figure that you want in your collection. Or hey, if you're new to this kind of collecting experience and you haven't gotten a Snail figure yet, I mean, this one is also a very solid one to pick up if you're into tigers, which this one it pretty much is. But do keep in mind, this is pretty much for adult collectors only. If you're a child, yeah, where the hell are your parents? But I feel like this is pretty much all I had to say. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, only time will tell what I'm about to review next. But until then, I hope I will see you next time, and hopefully I'll be reviewing the Studio Series 86, Soundwave, and of course, Thundercracker. I mean, they are Transformers. You guys are pretty much into this stuff. I think that's pretty much the only thing that you like about this video, or the part of the video, is that I pretty much show you these two, rather than showing, well, Garu. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I think the only thing that also holds this figure a little bit back is probably due to the price, which, yeah, it's quite pricey. So pick your poison if you're into, well, humanoid waifus. Yeah, I feel like this is a win. I am not beating the furry allegation, aren't I? I'm furry adjacent.